Hey, I'm out here in Meridian in the snow. Does it snow in Idaho? It sure does. But the reason why I'm out here and shooting this is because we are going to be interviewing a client of ours who moved from LA to Meridian, and we want to answer the questions that you guys have in your mind. What was the process like? What are the takeaways? Did they regret it? All that stuff. So we're going to dive into the interview right now.
Hey!
Dave,
Great.
what's up, man? Good to see you.
Great to see you, man.
Thanks for having me out.
Of course.
Super excited to talk with you about just your experience moving to Idaho from LA.
Absolutely.
All right,
Anything I can do to help.
I appreciate that.
We've been here a little over a year. We're from Southern California. My wife Yvonne and I are both natives of Southern California, born and raised in the Los Angeles area in the San Fernando Valley. We had a good time in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and as we approached our 60s, we kind of had our fill of just the enormity of everything, the price, everything's expensive there, traffic. It's beautiful, it's a wonderful place to live, but we knew that we were definitely looking for somewhere to go. We weren't really sure. And we had some family friends that lived here, so I started to do some research, and I liked what I was seeing. I liked the kind of more peaceful, smaller, but it had some similarities to Southern California in that it's a desert, it's high desert with mountains, and we wanted the seasons. So there was a lot of boxes that were being ticked that were good for us, and it probably took a couple years of research and to get to the point where we thought, let's go take a trip. Let's take a trip and see what it's all about. It wasn't different than I thought. It was very much of what it looked like. Of course, I watched your videos, and when I got here, it was pretty much what I thought it would be. It felt comfortable, natural, people were friendly. That was a real kind of welcoming thing for us. And of course, we came in the winter, and within the 3 or 4 days we were here, it snowed, it rained, the sun was out. So we got a taste of all those things, and we really enjoyed that. But we went back home, and I just worked hard to get the house ready to sell. It happened quick. Next thing you know, we were here and needed to find a house. We were in escrow and had no contingency plan. We came here, and you helped us out. And I'd been looking at this house, and it all kind of fell into place. So it worked out great. Logistically, we were originally looking at Star. I'm still traveling back and forth to LA to work. So as far as the airport, it's 10 minutes away. It really worked out good for us. My wife Yvonne loves it here. She has no interest in going back to LA. Like I said, we grew up there, so we had our fill. It's a wonderful place. Right now, it's going through some changes, but I feel like we lived there in the best years, and we're just really looking forward to going forward here and seeing what Boise and Meridian has in store for us. It's funny, my first trip to the airport was our first day of snow. So I had an 8 o'clock flight, 8 a.m. And we had to drive in the snow. And there was no two ways about it. Otherwise I was not gonna make my flight. And it was a light snow, but in our neighborhood, they don't do the streets. So we had to get out of the neighborhood, we were kind of sliding around. But once we got out to the main streets, they do a good job here of plowing the roads and making them drivable. But it was a little scary. I'm not by any means experienced in driving in the snow, and we don't have a four-wheel drive car. It's just a front-wheel drive little car, Acura. It got us there and back, but you just have to do your thing and not panic, because there's people here that know what they're doing, and don't let them bother you. You know, just drive the way you need to drive and take care of business. Sometimes that's easier said than done if you're in some deep snow, which another occasion we were going to Lowe's, and the streets were plowed, and then right in a main intersection it wasn't, and there was no direction I could go that didn't have snow, and I went for it, and you just have to be calm, and if you get stuck, you get stuck. But I would say, having traveled as much as I have, this isn't Chicago, it isn't the East Coast, Minnesota, or somewhere where when it snows, it's a foot and a half, and it's pretty serious stuff. It's been fun. We came here for the weather. We came here for the season, so we really enjoy it, and it's just about right for us in terms of the intensity of the weather. Get your rain, you get your snow, everything's green, it's nice. Coming from Southern California, we never got enough rain, so oddly enough, the last couple of years, I know that they got a lot of rain, so good for them, but it's doable. I think if you're afraid to come here if at all because of driving in the winter, it's the winter, can I last the winter? You know, you need to come out and check it out before you make your move. Come out in the middle of winter, get a good feel for it, and I think you'll know right off the bat if you can handle it. I mean, it gets cold, it gets, you know, high 20s, low 30s, and there's guys out there walking in shorts in the supermarket, and you're just going, wow, how's that guy doing that? But I don't think it's incredibly intense winter. I think if you can handle the cold, you'll be fine. We were pretty surprised. In fact, I know Yvonne called, made a couple calls like, is this bill right? Utilities are definitely cheaper here. The cost of living overall is cheaper, gas is cheaper. Food, grocery prices are similar. But overall, it's a much more cost-effective place to live. We definitely did our research and knew that coming in, but it's a very welcomed thing to not have to pay as much for your basic utilities. Car insurance is much cheaper. You know, you drive around, the roads are nice. There's no potholes. It's a very well managed state as far as I'm concerned, from what I gathered from being here only a year. You know, we were a little worried about the food choices here. Of course, coming from LA, you have everything, every kind of food, you know, right around the corner. Coming here, we were a little worried about it, but we've been pleasantly surprised. I think every you know, kind of food, the Thai food, Mexican food, a good steak, seafood, it's all here. We've been pleasantly surprised with it, and we do go out from time to time, you know, maybe 3 times a month, and it's been fun actually to find the good place to get taco or the good place, you know, a good Mexican place, a good Italian place, and we found some restaurants we really like, and you know, it's one of those things where to compete with a place like LA, it's like, you know, can you compete with New York or LA or Chicago or these places? And I would ultimately say absolutely not, because they're huge cities, but I think you're not going to have a problem finding what you need here. Absolutely. We were beginning to not feel so safe in Los Angeles, in the area that we lived in. Of course, there's been homeless issues there. You know, we love to ride our bikes, and part of the reason, a big reason we moved here was the green belt. We just looked at that and thought, what a great idea. Along the river, along the Boise River, it's absolutely beautiful. We spent a lot of time doing that, and we liked riding bikes when we lived in Los Angeles. But we would ride around, and if it started to get dark, it was definitely time to get home. Here, we go out in the dark and ride our bikes or take walks. We don't really worry about it so much. I know Yvonne, one night, she just wanted, after dinner, she wanted to take a little bike ride or a walk, I can't remember. And I didn't think twice, and she didn't either. She walked out, and I knew she was going to be perfectly fine. In 20 minutes, she came back, and it was really a nice feeling to not have to worry about something like that. Yeah, I would say quality of life is bumped up. It's when I go back to LA to work, and I fly in and I see the valley, there's a calming feeling for me. I really enjoy looking at the mountains and all the farms and downtown Boise. It is a dramatic change for me, and in a lot of ways, it's kind of a surprise. I tell myself, I can't believe I'm here. On the other hand, I'm very grateful that I am here. It's relaxing and safe. Every place has crime, but I would say, you know, you just get the impression that you're going to be fine here in terms of that kind of thing. Whereas in Los Angeles, where we came from, you kind of didn't have that feeling. It was getting worse fairly rapidly. So quality of life definitely bumped up. You know, you can't have everything. You know, you can't. You know, you got to give up something to gain something. It's always going to be that way. For me, it has been worth it. Absolutely. Leaving LA is a lot to give up, but you definitely gain something here. It's a completely different lifestyle. People don't feel so, it doesn't feel jaded here. It doesn't feel, people seem to be happy with a more simpler way of life. It's not contingent on whether they have the latest thing or the best car or the biggest house or there's a different feeling here as far as what's important. I think there's a strong sense of raising your family here. There's a lot of people raising their families. You get the sense of that, and it kind of reminds me of a time that I didn't think existed anymore.
Hey, if you want to come play in the snow with us here in Idaho, then pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so that we can connect and put a game plan together that's right for you.
Part of the reason we chose to move here was that there's a lot of outdoor activity, a lot of bicycles, biking trails, of course the green belt. My neighbor goes fishing all the time. He's got a boat. You know, you can drive an hour in any direction, even less than that, and see something beautiful. Just the other day, we thought, well, let's find where the Snake River is. We know it's just south of here, and within a half hour, we were at the Snake River, and we couldn't believe it, how close we live to something that it's like our own little mini Grand Canyon, and we just thought unbelievable how beautiful it was and how fortunate we are to be able to access that, and can't wait till summer where we can jump in there and swim around a little bit. We went to McCall, which is a couple hours north. It's like a little mini Lake Tahoe, absolutely gorgeous, and all the drive up there, you could stop anywhere. It's just absolutely stunning. Big meadows, big wide open valleys. So yeah, if you want to get out of the house and exercise, ride your bike, there's trails, it's the town for you, I would think. The more we do it, the more we realize that they want to promote this valley as such. So we've really enjoyed that part of it. It's really been something that we rely on, and it's been healthy for us to get out, and even the cold air, getting out there and getting in that fresh air, it kind of wakes you up. It's different. It's something that you get out there and it seems really cold, and then you realize that as you're out there, you start to warm up. It's invigorating. It's nice. We worried about that a little bit coming here. Of course, when you get here, you have your California plates on your car, and you worry that when you're driving around, people are going, "Oh, great, another person from California." But funny, more people that we'd be in Trader Joe's or something checking out, and we get to talking to the person, and they would be from California, or they'd be from Northern California. In fact, I would say 85% of people that we end up striking up a conversation about this kind of thing are from California. They could be here for 20 years, they could be here for 10 years, and to have been natives of Boise. So they've been friendly, people are welcoming. I'm sure there's someone out there that's been here and it feels like we're invading their valley, and that kind of thing. But generally, people have been really friendly. Even people that have lived here, my neighbors, for example, on one side of the house have lived here. I think they're from Twin Falls, and they couldn't have been more welcoming. I couldn't ask for better neighbors. My neighbor on the other side is from Vancouver, Washington. He hasn't even been here a year, and he's my best neighbor I've ever had. So he moved here for similar reasons, just the quality of life here, and he's the guy that likes to go fishing all the time. Yeah, going into that, I was truly a novice. To move out of state is a big deal. If you've never done it before, it's a huge learning experience. To move 2 miles from one house to another, that's not a big deal. But to pack up a house, to box up everything, to downsize, to finding out how much a mover is going to cost. You can spend anywhere from $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and if you have to put things into storage while you're looking for a home, that's an additional cost. We lucked out. We were willing to work really hard. Yvonne, for months, was boxing up things, labeling the boxes so that when you get there, you know what's in the box. I know it sounds basic, but it really helped. Once we got here, it's like sweaters, shoes, whatever it was. And we actually had to put a lot of stuff into storage while we were doing that because our house was filling up with boxes. We were going to Home Depot and buying boxes and boxes and boxes, filling them up and getting ready for it. And then we looked into the movers, and it gets really expensive. Like I said, you can spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 easily. What we found was a service that it's a moving truck. They come, they dump off the truck, the trailer, the truck leaves, and you have 2 days to load it up. It costs $5,000. That's it, $5,000, which we thought was a real bargain. But it is a lot of work. It was, you have to know how to pack. There's a way to pack those. It was a 28 feet long, 10 feet wide, 14 feet tall. We packed every square inch of that with stuff. Had the ties to tie everything down so it was safe. But it took every bit of those 2 days. I was out there till 2 in the morning. So if you're willing to work, if you're willing to take that on, you can save a tremendous amount of money. And they had it delivered here within a week. And they do the same thing. They drop it off, you unpack it, and I think they give you, probably 2 days to unpack it. But it saved us a tremendous amount of money. It's funny, we thought we did downsize. There's stuff we didn't bring that we wish that we had. Like I said, we kind of jumped into it not really knowing what the outcome was going to be. We kind of made it up as we were going along, to be honest with you. But like I said, the more you can do yourself, the more you'll save. But just to get the house staged, we downsized quite a bit. Our agent wanted us to declutter the house, so we started to get rid of a lot of stuff. It's hard to know what to take and what not to take. We downsized as much as we could, and but like I said, we filled every inch of that trailer up, and that's not including all the furniture we bought. You know, we didn't bring any couches or a lot of the big stuff, so it's, you know, you scratch your head, it's like, what was in all those boxes? A lot of clothes and kitchen stuff, and like I said, if you're willing to do the heavy lifting, you'll save a ton of money, that's for sure. Well, first, if there's got to be a reason that you're looking at Idaho, you got to make a couple. We came out here twice. You got to come out here and spend some time, drive around. We came out here and drove around for 3 days straight, all over the place. Drove around and looked at the sites and got a feel for what was here. And I can't imagine not doing that. You have to do your research, which I did for probably a couple of years, getting ready for this. So once I did get here, I already knew the names of streets. It was like, oh wow, I'm finally here. I'm finally looking at this. I'm finally looking at that. It really helped me a lot. And I think you'll know fairly quick if it's the place for you or not. Definitely give yourself a summer. Come out in the summer, come out in the winter. And I think you'll find out pretty quick if it's the place for you. It was the place for Yvonne and I, that's for sure. We knew fairly quick. I think the first day we drove around, we felt comfortable, and I think that's the way it should be. I think it should be something where you're not scratching your head. You just feel like it's home, that it's going to be your home. And this valley had that effect on us. We felt like we were home, and it was a no-brainer for us, really.
Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Dave, thank you so much, man, giving it the truth. Hopefully if this video was helpful for you, this interview is helpful, answered a lot of questions you might have, don't hesitate to pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can connect and put a game plan together that's right for you.